The Adventures of Gunslinger Joe is the first of 3 DLC packs for the excellent Wolfenstein II: The New Colossus. But sadly, Gunslinger Joe falls far short of the mark. You're probably wondering why we're revisiting the Freedom Chronicles Wolfenstein II DLC. Well, with the game recently appearing on Nintendo Switch and the DLC yet to make an appearance on the platform, we figure now's as good a time as any because it's probably gonna happen. But maybe it shouldn't, because Gunslinger Joe isn't exactly the best piece of content we've ever played. See, Joe Stallion is a former professional quarterback who has been enslaved by the Nazis and coerced to play for them. But when he decides that enough is enough and he publicly rebels, he is taken to Roderick Metz's research lab in Illinois. Now, Metze is a really scary dude who used to be a dentist, which should tell you everything you need to know already, but he has all kinds of sinister schemes up his sleeve. Fortunately for Gunslinger Joe Stallion though, he has the tools to fight back. And that doesn't mean that he goes long and throws a duke in Nazi faces. He can actually run right through his enemies with a devastating shoulder tackle, which sends them crashing to the ground. Now, sometimes if he has enough of a run-up, he can even kill his enemies. And that is definitely the highlight of this DLC, because Joe can blast through walls by channeling his inner Hulk, and he sends doors crumpling to the ground in a heap. The mechanic just never stops being fun and satisfying, because it lets us fulfill our dreams of trampling Nazis and Ku Klux Klan members. It's just a shame that it all ends rather quickly. The story is a very paper-thin revenge mission which sees Joe pursue his arch-nemesis Metze throughout, while building up the same arsenal of weapons from Wolfenstein II. And without doubt, Gunslinger Joe is all smash-mouth in-your-face action, which the new Colossus did so well. But sadly though, Gunslinger Joe doesn't even offer half of the base game's creativity. If you're lucky, The Adventures of Gunslinger Joe is going to last you about an hour. The content is split up into 3 short parts, and when it's over, there's not much cause to revisit. There are a few collectibles to find here and there, and you can check out challenge rooms and replay all sections on harder difficulties in order to improve your score, but generally, this is a one and done piece of content that is mostly mindless and ultimately pretty forgettable. And Joe himself is even a bit of a bland protagonist who certainly lacks the aura and intensity of Blazkowicz. And even his shoulder tackle mechanic is borrowed from BJ from Game 1, so he's not actually doing anything new. So, The Adventures of Gunslinger Joe is not the start that we were hoping for from the Freedom Chronicles. As a standalone, it's most certainly not worth its £7 price tag. Though as a package deal in the Season Pass and the Freedom Chronicles, it might be better justified. We'll find that out as we progress through the DLC. But Wolfenstein II is among the highest quality shooters this generation. It deserves better post-launch support than this. To summarise, on the pro side, it's got a fun shoulder tackle mechanic and its same run and gun fun that you know and love from Wolf 2 for as long as it lasts, but on the cons, it is so very short and ultimately very forgettable. It's also a one and done content, you're very unlikely to revisit it. There's no new weapons here to speak of, and it is actually very pricey as a standalone piece of content. So we've chosen to give The Adventures of Gunslinger Joe, the first DLC for the Freedom Chronicles in Wolfenstein II: The New Colossus, 6 out of 10. We tested this on a PC. Thanks very much for watching. Don't forget to give us a like, comment, and a subscribe. We are, of course, going to be looking at the other 2 pieces of content in the Freedom Chronicles DLC. We have ventured back in the past, and we are going to look at some historic DLC from the last 6 to 7 months we've yet to cover on the channel, so stay tuned for that. Or if there's anything particular you'd like us to cover, do let us know in the comment section below, and we'll endeavour to try and look at that and get that done. And we'll see you next time.